What's up, guys? My name is Miles.
And my name is Fez.
And this is The Commodity.
And today we are taking a look at the best stadiums in every Australian state. And for some reason, we kick back and we haven't played it at all. And it has the American flag flying.
Yeah, second one in the video has an American flag. You guys will see it in a second. So I thought that was funny. If you want to stick around for those bloopers, we dicked around. It'll be at the end.
It's all fun and games. It's not anything serious.
Yeah, obviously by the accents that we throw in at the end, it was completely stereotypical. Yeah. This video is requested to us by Amber Jade XX or Am3 or Jadex.
You've been doing a lot lately.
Yeah, thank you so much for the suggestion. We truly appreciate it, guys. If you want to suggest videos to us, there is a link in the description down below. It'll take you over to our Discord, and you can throw the videos that you want us to check out in there. Also, before we hop in, if you would, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. It truly helps us out in getting these out to more people. And if you'd like to, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon. That way you guys can stay informed on our future videos. And if you want to help support the channel even more and get an exclusive YouTube short shout out, click that join button down under. See what I did there?
Yeah.
All right, let's watch this.
We've done the US, we've done England,
Okay, makes
we've done
sense.
Germany, and Canada was gonna be
Canada.
next. But a lot of people were suggesting that I do Australia next. And I said, Struth, that's a bloody good idea. Yeah, nah, she'll be right. No worries, fair dinkum. Would you believe me if I told you that I'm from Australia? With that being said, here is the best stadium in every Australia.
He's like, because I'm not.
Let's talk
States.
about Australia, a country where I'm
And
not
the two
from.
biggest territories to bolster the numbers. Australian Capital Territory. The District of Columbia of Australia. More kangaroos though. It's a toss-up between oval and rectangular, but I'm going oval on this one. Monica Oval to be specific. The odd thing about this place is that it doesn't actually have any professional team that plays here permanently, yet it's used quite frequently by both AFL and cricket teams from elsewhere. It's undergone some improvements.
Oh, it looks way bigger
recently,
now.
Yeah.
with its fancy press boxes. But the best feature remains the classic white picket fence that surrounds the field.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is.
And look,
pretty
they
dope.
even make the seat areas like this is your spot.
Yeah.
It should be mandatory at all cricket grounds. New South Wales. It's around 80 times larger than Old South Wales. Less Welsh people though. It's a state that's home to 10 of the 16 National Rugby League teams.
Damn.
It's
Sydney
crazy.
itself has
Hold
a ton
on.
of suburban rugby league.
It's crazy how much bigger it looks when it's filled up with people.
Yeah.
Like of course, also from the aerial view, it looks much smaller because it's all about, perception. Sorry. But once you get closer in and it's loaded with people, it looks massively bigger.
Yeah.
stadiums. But I'm gonna have to go for a cricket stadium once more. Although it does host NRL
That's a
as
nice
well,
stadium.
to be fair.
Built in
And
1848.
AFL.
Wow.
Australian stadiums are busy. It's one of the oldest test cricket grounds in the world, having opened in the mid-19th century. And despite being a modern stadium overall, it has still
Wonder what
kept
our
some
oldest
relics
stadium
of the
is.
past
I don't know.
in use.
Like-
The ladies' pavilion
That does look really dope, though. The
main
architecture and the
entrance,
style
yeah.
and everything. That is really cool.
I mean, the rest of it looks cool and all, but that front area, I guess that's where the tickets and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
the entrance and everything is at. And that looks awesome.
I feel like that makes the stadium what it is.
Truly.
I mean, that's beautiful.
It has still kept some relics of the past in use. The ladies' pavilion and members' pavilion in particular,
Oh, that's a great
which
view.
are a charming addition to the stadium. Well, actually, the rest
Makes
of
me
the stadium
think of
is an
Seattle
addition to them.
Seahawks Stadium.
Northern
Ooh.
Territory. When most people think of the stereotypical Australian, they're actually thinking of someone from here. TO Stadium, or TIO Stadium, is a decent little venue considering Darwin's small size and isolation. Speaking of Darwin, it's actually been almost completely destroyed twice. Turns out, if you name your city after someone who debunks creationism, it really pisses off God. Anyway, it's an Australian rules football
Darwinism.
stadium primarily,
Great.
hosting the occasional AFL game. It did used to have a permanent semi-professional tenant, but they ceased to exist. It just consists of this one grandstand on the western side of the ground, as well as a large grass berm.
It's a beautiful stadium.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely is. Look how beautiful that is.
Queensland.
God.
I know.
Without Queenslanders, bananas would be straight. The banana bending industry makes up 16% of the state's economy. I think it's about
Shut up.
rectangular stadium. Sorry, Gabba, you're a bit boring. And sorry, Cusack, you're just plain weird.
That's
And
a multi-purpose stadium.
Okay, this could run and run. I am, of course, going for Suncorp Stadium, home of the Broncos and Queensland when it's state of origin time.
It's a
Now,
dope
it's the
looking
country's
spot,
largest
though.
rectangular stadium, and some might say the best. The structure itself isn't on stilts, so it's not 100% Queenslander. But the amount of maroon throughout the stadium
I don't
certainly
understand
makes
this
up
I
for it.
don't. Yeah, I
I
don't
like the
either.
video boards directly behind the post at each end as well.
Can somebody please explain the banana bending industry to me
Yeah,
and Fez?
Just any of the jokes, just
Yeah,
explain them because they're going right over our heads.
as well as the building not being on stilts, so it can't
Is
be
it,
true.
oh, is that part
Queensland.
of the flooding area?
No, Bick. I mean, it could be. It's. I don't believe it's the place that's currently being flooded.
Right.
That's Western Sydney. I think it's
Wait,
Sydney in
isn't
general.
Sydney in-
No,
South
it's-
Australia, the
Oh, that's
only
in-
state that never received British convicts. And it's also the wine
is
capital of Australia. I feel like the fact that they weren't making it out of a toilet gave them the competitive edge. Anyway, Norwood Oval is one of the more interesting.
No,
That is.
it might be the place. I think it's the place
Yeah,
that's getting
I'm
flooded
thinking
right now.
It is.
Yeah. So that could make sense. I might
looks
have
like a-
understood that joke.
State League footy grounds.
Foodie.
There's an okay A-League ground. But the Adelaide Oval is probably my favourite
That's a
stadium in Australia.
pretty stadium.
And I'm not an Adelaidean before you ask.
So they have three different
Combines
teams
a
that play
modern
there. Wow.
architecture with a traditional cricket ground aesthetic, including a brick facade, old-fashioned manual scoreboard, a grass hill with fig trees,
Oh.
and some seats even get a cathedral backdrop, which isn't exactly important, but it's very fitting considering that Adelaide is known as the city of churches.
Really?
I did not know that.
Tasmania.
That's a beautiful view.
This is by far the coolest state.
That is insane.
For starters, it's an island. It also has the only name that isn't incredibly dull, and apparently it has the cleanest
He
air
must
on
be
Earth.
definitely an Aussie.
There you go, Tasmanians. You get made fun of a lot for your hillbilly ways, so there's some positivity for you. The best stadium would have to be Blundstone Arena.
That looks
This
like a good
beachside
spot
cricket
too.
ground is the home of Tasmanian cricket, but it also regularly hosts AFL, as does pretty much every cricket stadium in the country. It has an odd assortment of stands, including the modern Ricky Ponting stand, and they haven't even tried to match the colours, but overall I think it looks pretty good. And I always like to see a grass berm in a cricket ground.
So I do have a
Victoria.
quick question. Something
Most-
that I'm noticing in all of these is how old they are, which is kind of cool. We fight here in the U.S. trying to keep a lot of our older ones. I know Boston Stadium is really
Mhm.
old.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but beyond that, I think most stadium. I know New York's got a new state. The Yankees have a new stadium, stuff like that. They finally changed up Candlestick Stadium, which used to home the Giants, the San Francisco Giants NFL team, and then also San Francisco. Baseball team. Sorry, my brain was thinking New York because New York Giants and New York Jets share a field. Ironically, not in New York, but in New Jersey. And then you have the San Francisco Giants baseball team shared the same stadium as the San Francisco 49ers. Did I say that right?
Yes.
My brain is not working
think
right now.
so.
San Francisco Giants, San
Mine's
Francisco
not
Niners
either.
shared a stadium. Yeah, and they sucked. And then finally they put them in their own stadiums and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, but they constantly are making new stadiums all the time.
Well, I think we're on our third Ranger Stadium just like the past
No, the
15
second.
years, right?
No. The last Ranger Stadium is from the 1970s, I believe, and then this current one was built and finished in 2000.
Okay. And then we're on our second Cowboy Stadium.
Third technically, because that was
Third Cowboy
the
Stadium,
first one
yeah.
was the Cotton Bowl
Yeah.
was their stadium. Then which is really old. It's used for college games now. And then you got the old stadium that was in Irving, which was destroyed.
Yeah.
And then they put the new Cowboys Stadium, which as much as I hate the Cowboys, I have to give it to them. That's probably one of the best stadiums in the world.
Beautiful stadium.
It is. I mean, it's a $2 billion stadium from, 12 years ago, 15 years ago now. So, I mean, the inflation on that number is like probably
they
$3 billion.
spent stupid money on it. Yeah.
It used to have the biggest TV in the world and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Most people know it's home
But do y'all
to
build
Ned
new
Kelly,
stadiums?
the iconic bushranger,
Or do y'all not want it?
But even more iconic is Victoria's fine dining scene. Both the dim sim and the Chico roll hail from here. And yet Italy and France...
I thought dim sum, or is it dim sum?
We call it dim sum. We probably fuck it up, though. That's probably on us.
That's not an Asian dish?
Yeah, it is Asian.
Oh, but they created it here?
What did he say?
Both the dim sim and the Chico... More iconic is Victoria's fine dining scene. Both the dim sim and the Chico roll hail from here. And yet Italy and France
But if
get
it's
all the
dim sum and
accolades.
dim sum are two different things.
Usually I don't bow down to peer pressure and just choose the stadium that would appease the most people, but as a Victorian, you can actually face several years in prison for discrediting the MCG. So I can't even consider Amy Park or Marvel Stadium. The Melbourne Cricket Ground is almost as old as the city of Melbourne itself. It's the home of footy, the home of the Boxing Day Test cricket's biggest annual event. It's hosted the Olympics and Commonwealth Games. It's the biggest stadium in the Southern Hemisphere, perhaps too big. And while it might not be the prettiest stadium going round, this multi-tiered behemoth is by no means ugly. Western Australia. It's the biggest state.
I like how they show like the most like secluded areas
Where people go to die.
I think that actually looks awesome with those stones.
Oh yeah, that's badass.
Beautiful. But yeah, they could also be like old headstones
in the world. And oddly enough,
that is cool.
The population is almost exactly the same as the area in square kilometers, about 2.6 million. The stadium situation is pretty similar to South Australia.
Square kilometer.
Decent A-League stadium, several suburban footy grounds,
Those are real
and the
pretty.
obvious choice. But they do also have the Wacker, an iconic cricket ground. However, the obvious choice is the obvious choice.
Okay, here's a new
An
stadium.
iconic cricket
These are dope looking lights.
I know, I noticed that. But it looks like either like updated, like, oh, you know why it looks all weird?
Huh.
Because we're looking at Google Earth. It's trying to it's trying to make it look normal, but it's not.
However, the obvious choice is the obvious choice.
Okay, so it's
At
brand
over
new.
$1.5 billion Australian dollars, it was the
How
most
much?
costly
$1.5
stadium
million.
construction in the country's history.
What? No.
In dollars, it was the choice is the obvious choice. At over $1.5 billion Australian
Billion.
dollars,
I was like, there's
the most
no
costly stadium
way.
construction in the
Let's go
country's
build a
history.
stadium,
I
bro.
love that bronze
I can
exterior.
meet enough
and
people
the
to get $1
interior
million.
is a smaller, more modern MCG, really. In some areas, there are 5 tiers of seating.
That's
And
really
rather
cool.
than
I
the
like
huge
it.
light
I like it a
towers of
lot.
the MCG, all the lights are roof mounted, which is actually pretty rare in stadiums used for cricket. A fantastic venue to end with.
That is dope. That was a beautiful
Is
stadium.
that it?
Well, you said he was ending with that stadium.
That's it for today's video.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I liked all the stadiums, but like, did y'all want the new stadium? That's all I'm asking. Is it, or do y'all prefer the old stadiums and have the history behind it? There is something to that, but there's also something to having a new stadium, like the Atlanta Stadium. I've heard it kind of sucks, but it's up to date. It's real beautiful. It's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and they've made it and they're really focused on making the fans comfortable. Like, you put your line and spot to use a restroom on your phone.
Right.
So you show up, you have your stall.
Yeah.
No waiting in line. And then food is supposedly like stupid cheap. Like, they were like,
That's
maybe
shocking.
more people will actually buy more food if they can get it for cheap. Like, a hamburger will cost you like $4 or $5. A hot dog's like $2 or $3. You know?
Yeah. As opposed to the Cowboys stadium, you're gonna spend $12 on a
Hot dog.
drink.
Yeah, but without free refills.
Yeah. Or ice.
And yeah, or you can get like, and they do sell like specialty beers and all that, but
Right.
they're like $20-$30, and they cost $50, $100 to park, and then to actually go to the game, it's literally the cost of a vacation. It's to go to a Cowboys game or a Yankees game, they're so expensive to go to. It's not even fun.
Yeah, like if you want to take a family, you're gonna spend $600 to $800 on your tickets, your parking, your food.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. That's if you have mediocre tickets.
Yeah.
So there's I mean, but you're seeing the Cowboys is the most valuable franchise in the entire world, but you're seeing garbage football play.
Yeah, they're a very, very wealthy football team that cannot play football.
Exactly. But the Yankees are a good team. They're, again, probably the top 3 most valuable franchises. They're historically famous. I mean, if you want to see the pinstripes, and odds are you're going to see somebody that's going to be thrown into the Hall of Fame for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So there is something to it. But I loved the stadiums we saw. I like that they're all outdoor. So I'm guessing, just based off of how hot it gets in a lot of these areas, most of the sports are played during the winter time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just guessing here. Because
let me know which one your favorite stadium is. And I had that question as well. Do you guys like the fact that your stadiums are so they are old, but like, do you like the heritage, the history behind those stadiums, or do you guys just not want to build new ones?
Yeah, no, I promise you, if you went to like Boston and tried to tear down, what is their stadium called? Boston, the Red Sox stadium. I can't even think of it.
That one, the Boston Stadium.
Yeah. There's and I think Chicago Cubs has the same thing. Mm-hmm. They have a really old stadium from like either the early 1900s or the late 1800s, and they will not tear it down because they're like, this is our stadium, we want it this way, and it's in a real badass location. They're like in downtown areas where you could literally, if you lived next door to it, you can just look out your window and watch the game.
Right.
So it's really cool. But guys, let us know down in the comments all the answers to these questions if they're not too many. But guys, if y'all enjoy this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see our future videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. If you want to support us directly, hit that join button. And with that being said,
my name is Miles.
And my name is Fez.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace
out. I like that.
This is how we like
it. It's an Australian video with an American flag.
America's the best country.
The best.
The best.
And we're the best country.
Best country.
Giddy up, dog.
I've read books made in America that say we're number 1.
I ride horses.
After we burn the books that we don't like.
And I've shot guns.
And it gets me turned on.
America.
Number 1 in the universe. That's not an understatement.
It's not. Let's talk about Australia now. Pieces of shit. Foreigners.
They don't understand freedom. They don't understand.
I'm paying for health care. Fuck you.
You don't understand working for minimum wage when it's $3.13 an hour.
You guys ain't even scared to go get shot in public, so fuck off.
Yeah, you don't know. Do you know? Hey, quick question. Do you know why a clip has 30 rounds in it?
Why?
That's the average class size. That's fucked up.
No, it's funny.